So next we want to talk about the way that we share these precious products. When doTERRA's owners got together, they knew that the oils worked, right? They had all had their own experiences. They all came from really different backgrounds, but they all shared that one common thread, which is we know the oils change lives. So they had a lot of different options of what business model to use when they created doTERRA. And we've invited Heather and Jared Andersen, a couple of rock star leaders who have been in direct sales for a decade now, to speak to that particular topic. So Heather and Jared, are you guys on?
Yeah, we're here. Can you hear us and see us?
Welcome. So take it away, guys.
Thanks. We're super excited and happy to be here. It's a privilege to share. We want to kind of delve into this, why this business model, and while doing that, share a little bit of our own personal story, because I feel like we've traveled all the business models, and I feel like if there's someone that can just learn from the things that we've done and then just jump into the one that makes the biggest difference in life, like right away, then you could learn from our experience, right?
Yeah, we've gone through years of trial and error here.
Yeah. So I'd love to just share my screen here with you. We've got a couple of slides, if that's okay. So we're the Andersens. This here's my little family. And we're going to give you the answers straight out of the chute. Sometimes you build up and then you get to the finale and then you're like, ta-da! But we're not going to do that. We're just going to give it to you right here, right now. Why this business model? Because you can create a lifestyle business. That's what we like to call it. A business that you not only are able to have money to do what you want, but also the lifestyle and the time to do what you want when you want. So to have the money and the time. That's a really big deal. And is that not what every single person wants, right? So we're going to jump into kind of what we did as we grew up, I guess. So we met in college, and we both had a job. We made a hot $6 an hour, and we lived in the student housing trailer court. And we were happy.
Life was great.
Yeah, life was great, but we were making $6 an hour. And here's the thing, is we knew that Jared was gonna go to law school. And I think when you're in that space making $6 an hour living in a trailer court, you're like, man, like we need money, right? And you go to school and you get a degree so that you can make money.
I think that's true for most people.
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to create something, right?
Yeah,
Go create a job that you can provide with.
We want to have a car, we want to buy a house, like that requires money. But never, ever, ever in all of our years of college, and Jared found degree after degree after degree to obtain, nobody ever talked to us about this whole idea of, hey, yeah, you might get a job and you might be able to create some good money, but what about your lifestyle? Like nobody told us about that. So we had our $6 an hour, and you can see this picture of the man here in the slide. And you're gonna hear a little bit more about this from a couple other people later on. And it's the idea of exchanging money for time. I work my hour, I get my $6. You know, and that goes up to, as I mentioned here, 6 figures. So we went through many degrees.
Finally graduated with
many schools.
Lots of student debt.
He got a law degree, but I tell you what, I put him through law school. So I feel like I should have the law degree as well.
We graduated law school.
We have a law degree. And he made 6 figures, and he made really good money. And we arrived, you guys, we got there. We got the degree, and now we have some money. We got a house, and we got those things. But then you tell them, as an attorney, what was life like?
Well, it was a grind. I was getting up at 5 in the morning, getting to the law firm by 6 or 6:30, and getting home at about 8 at night. And so that trade-off of getting the money we wanted really took away from the time we wanted. That first Christmas, I remember Heather, we lived in Texas at the time. She flew back to Utah 2 weeks before I flew out because I couldn't do it.
Yeah, when we went from students get a lot of breaks, and then he got his job, and there was 2 weeks in the entire year he got to have off. I was like, we want to go back to be students. What the heck? So that was, we created a job. That's what we did. Whether it was a $6 an hour job or it was an attorney, we created a job. And that's what we had. So we started to say, we want to have a little bit more. We want to have a side gig. We want to have extra money. We want to be able to travel and give.
Well, I can't remember when I was going to talk about my dad's thing, but this might be a good spot.
Go ahead.
So while I was in law school, my dad had worked a couple jobs to pay all the bills for my family growing up. And while I was in law school, he built a gas station. He built a business. And I remember talking to all my friends in law school saying, we need to go build a gas station because you can make money, but not have to put in all these hours.
It was this first time that this kind of aha of lifestyle, like he could see his dad, instead of hardly sleeping and working 2 jobs, he was now having more time in his schedule. And he was like, hey, we should look at
There's
something like that.
to this trade-off of time for money and having extra time to do stuff you want to do.
So we decided we were going to create a business. We're in Texas. It's hotter than Hades. They didn't have shaved ice locally. So, hey, we thought there's a need here. Let's create a business that's going to make more money. So this is right out front of our house. We hauled in this little snow shack. We had 4 locations. Hot dang, we were in business. And you guys, we only had to take out a loan of $50,000 to do it, right? So now he's a full-time attorney. And now we have a second job where now he's after, going with his shirt and tie into the snow shack. And then we also now have money that we owe. So we're not creating a lifestyle yet. We're not creating that freedom. So right now we have created a business, but not a lifestyle. So next, our path, we traveled into creating big business. So Jared, after being an attorney, was like, you know what? I don't want this lifestyle. Saw an opportunity for home health and hospice. And down here you can see he built some assisted living facilities and gas stations. And in this, what do you find with risk and reward?
So definitely there was a little bit more time than when I was at my law firm, but it's very high stressful because everything falls back to you. So I had people calling me all the time.
Problems.
We had about 500 employees or so, and everybody was looking for me for answers. And so it was a lot of sleepless nights because every issue is your issue.
And that includes, hey, you might not be able to get any pay this month.
There were months when that happened for sure. Yep.
You know what I mean? And so there's big risk. You have to take out big loans, and you've got to, to be able to make big business work. And so the next thing in our business travels was pursuing a lifestyle business. We kind of caught this idea of direct sales, network marketing, and we could see that this income could build and that there could be a possibility for us to have time and money. And so that's where I was for 9 years. I was able to build to the top of that company and make more than
it was a different company.
Yeah, it was a different company. Make more than what an attorney makes.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it.
It's true. He said that all the time. I would not believe this if I wasn't seeing it. However, there's 3 main requirements that I came to realize in the business model that you really need. You need something consumable, so people are going through it on a regular basis, right? You need something that has a really good retention. Here in doTERRA, we have a 65% retention, which is off the charts. That means 65% of people are coming back for more, right? And if you've used any of the products, I have been a user and consumer of the product for 8 years. I was sharing naturally with people all around me. Why? Because I saw the difference that it made for me and my family, and I wanted that for other people.
And this is before she started working doTERRA.
Yeah.
This is why she was working for a different direct sales company.
Right. But these are things that I invested a lot of time into a different place, that I am seeking out all that I could out there to say, look, I want to find the best business model that is going to create a lifestyle. These were the 3 things that you needed. And that is what we found here in doTERRA. And so we've made big life changes. Let me hit my next slide here. So, Jared is making changes in his businesses because we see here in doTERRA that there is low risk, high reward. And when we're building big things, that was high risk, right? So we see massive potential. And what we know, what we already see, is that you can create a lifestyle. So here in these slides, one of the things that we want to do is travel with our family. We want those experiences that we have memories forever, right?
And I think everybody has things that they want to do that maybe they don't have the time or the money to do. Like when I was an attorney, some of these pictures are of a house my son and I went and built in Mexico last year for this family that you see up in the top left. And when I worked at my law firm, there's no way I could have taken a week off or 10 days to go down there and build that because I didn't have enough time. And so these are the types of things that we see and what we want to do. And everybody has their own thing, right? It doesn't have to be going to Mexico to build a house for somebody. It doesn't have to be going to Hawaii. That's what we love to do. But we feel and we know that by building this business, we're going to have the time to do these service things that we enjoy doing and time to go spend with our family and have the financial ability to make it work.
Yeah, and one of the main goals that we have is when you have more, you can give more. And that's what we want to do. And in a lot of different ways. And my son that you can see in that picture with Jared, he had to be like pulled on that trip because it doesn't sound fun to go work for 4 solid days in Mexico without amenities and build a house in the heat, right? But I'll tell you this. So he is now 17 and he said to us just the other day, he said, Dad, do you want to know what I want to go do this summer? And he said, what? And he goes, I want to go build a house in Mexico. And when you have 17-year-old boys that are saying, I want to go and give and I want to go and serve because their life was changed and their heart was touched, like that's what I want to create more of. And when I do that, I want to bring help and healing to all of those along the way that allow us to be there. So we want more so we can give more. Mm-hmm. And that's the lifestyle, right? To create the time and the money. So I think we have just one last slide here. So I would just ask the question, where do you see yourself in 2 years? If you do exactly what you're doing right now and nothing else changes, where do you see in what we shared? Do you see yourself in a job, working, trading hours for money? Do you see yourself having a small business and investing money and time and effort and seeing how it goes? Big business? Or can you see yourself putting your eggs in the basket, which will create lifestyle, right? Where you can have time and you can have the money. So that's kind of why this business model is, because it can do both of those things while helping so many others and healing.
It's created everything we wanted as we tried to figure this out along the way.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So that's what we have for you, Andy. Creating a lifestyle.
Thank you, guys. What an incredible journey that you've been on. And we're so impressed by your commitment to lifting lives in every way, you know, both from a health perspective, but also from the business side. Like you guys are you're blessing lives here, you're blessing lives in the Philippines. Just love your commitment all the way around.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.